Okay, and we're back. So where we left off was trying to have a look at what a group wiki was, so we could get our group wiki URL. Now the internet is still slow here, but we're going to go with it. So I've right-clicked again onto anywhere on the page for my Google Drive account in my EDM113 Task 1 Part A folder. So this is the folder that my other group members have got access to. Okay, so I've gone to More, so I can see the other options available to me through Google Drive. It'll come up soon. There we go. So as I go down, I've got Google Forms, Google Drawings. Going to make that bigger so I can actually see everything on there. There we go, Google Sites. Now Google Sites is the one that I want to go to, and again I'm really sorry for my internet being so jumpy. So Google Sites is, I'm going to click on Google Sites, create in shared folder. Yes, I want to do that, so create and share, because then all of my group members can access this and we can all edit it together, and that's what group work is all about. So as Google Sites opens, I'm just going to jump over here because a lot of people don't know what a wiki is, and I've just Googled it and said a good definition for you: a website or database developed collaboratively by a community of users, allowing any user to add and edit content. So that's essentially what a wiki is, FYI. That's not that. Here we go. So my Google site has now come up. This is your wiki. So when I'm talking about a wiki, this is what I'm referring to. You can add your page title, you can change your images. There's so many different things that you can do, and I'm not going to go through it because there's plenty of information on the LMS for you to do it yourself. You can upload images, you can download things from your Google Drive, so your shared group page, you can download things. You can embed links if you would like, or videos, and create text box. You can look at the different layouts here. If you want to go up here, you've got pages. So you've got your home page, which is how you can duplicate the page. You can add a sub page to it. So there's lots and lots of different things for you to go through and to play with. So please make it visually appealing, make it aesthetically appealing. That's quite important as well, because I don't want to be bored when I'm looking through it, and I'm sure you guys don't want to be bored while you're typing it. All right, I'm going to get rid of what this one is. Okay. So I'll just go back into my site and I'll just write this one as test with my title. Internet, please catch up. I'll go up here and I'll also call it test EDN 113 external. All right, and I'm going to press publish. Now, by publishing this, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be live to everybody. The whole world isn't going to be able to see it, because if you know any analytics and stuff behind the internet, this page hasn't had any traffic to it. It's just a private one, essentially, for us to use. It's been made public. It is published on the internet. However, it's very, very unlikely that someone's going to find it unless they've got the URL. So my web address here, test, I'm going to leave it as that. And I'm going to go publish. So there's my code here. So publish. You don't need to publish it until the very last minute, but for you to be able to get your wiki link, then it's probably a good idea. So let's just see, view published site. Let's have a little bit of a look what it would look like. So far, that's it. So nothing. I'm just going to go copy my URL. So when I'm talking about a URL, I'm talking about whatever is up here. So your www whatever, or https ... whatever. So that's what I'm referring to. And then I'm going to go back to my Google Drive. I've got my copy of my task here, so I'll just click it. It's already open. And I'll go my right click and paste. Oh, I better do it properly. So paste is Command V for me. There we go. So there we have my link to my website, so that me as the tutor can go through and have a little bit of look at what you guys are doing. and that's already on my page. So right there, you've managed to earn yourself a few points already. Easy. Now, teamwork agreement. So this is what you all agree to do. So please read through that. I'm not going to go through it because it hopefully is pretty self-explanatory. You need to include down here your student ID, your full name, your mobile number, and your email address so that your colleagues can contact you. And again, we've given you the tip here of making sure everyone uses a different color to include your information. Just for when we are editing, you can then refer back and say, okay, Elise, she is in pink. Okay. So, and Chloe, maybe you're in green, whatever. All right. So there's another point right there. So teamwork process, this is where you actually have to come together and decide as a group on some of your processes. So discuss and decide how you will work as a cohesive team to complete the project to the group's satisfaction by the due date. So communication methods. How are you going to communicate with each other? You can simply write that you are going to be using Google Drive to store and upload information. Okay. You might then like to include something about using Edmodo. Edmodo. But tell me why you're going to use Edmodo. And maybe the last one, I don't know, maybe you have a Facebook Messenger group that you decide to set up because that's easy access for you and something you use every day. Maybe you just have a group text that goes around. I don't know. You guys have to figure it out, but you need to record it there to be accountable for your learning and to accountable to your group members. You've also got your code of conduct. So if a team member's allocated tasks are not complete by the agreed date, we will. What are the steps you're going to do? There's a saying in the classroom, ask three before me. I don't expect that applies here. However, if you do run into issues with your group members, I'm always here and I can be put down as the last thing, I suppose, last resort for me to be able to help you and get in contact with your colleague who maybe you haven't heard from yet. So please, you're welcome to include me in your code of conduct. However, I do want you to think of other methods and other ways. I've got 2 dot points here. I expect that you're going to include a few more than just the 2. Be thorough. If a team member does not reply to communication within 48 hours, we will. So what steps are you going to take to make sure that your group isn't falling behind because of a group member who isn't contributing effectively? It's a real problem and hopefully you guys don't come across it. But again, don't forget, I am here to help. If a team member withdraws from the unit or group, we will. I don't know, if you're a group of 3 currently and all of a sudden you lose one of your members, would you prefer to be dispersed into other groups? Would you be happy to keep as a group of 2? Up to you. Please make sure you record what you are going to do. If there is a dispute between team members, we will resolve it using the following procedure. So just like in any organisation, if you have a problem with somebody or if you have a problem with someone's contributions, what steps are you going to take? Again, last resort being me. And then others, so anything else you'd like to include there as well. Again, there's your points. Too easy. Then we've got our project information. Okay, this is the nitty-gritty. This is important. So identify the appropriate curriculum content descriptions and elaborations for your student cohort and download a copy of the elaborations. So all the links are here for you. We're looking at the Western Australian curriculum in technologies, and we're looking at design and technologies and digital technologies. Okay, so the links are the ones here that I'd like you to have a look at. Design and technologies isn't necessarily what we need to look at for this unit. It's about the digital technologies. So I haven't included anything above year 10. I wouldn't recommend going above year 10 simply because it goes into a bit of a different style curriculum and it makes things a little bit more challenging and more confusing for you. If you have a real desire to do it, I'm more than happy to help walk you through it. But for now, I have only included the ones from foundation through to year 10. Equally, it can be challenging to do the lower years. So if you're thinking pre-primary year 1, it can be difficult. However, there's a lot available for pre-primary and year 1 students now as well. So it's up to you which way you'd like to go. But I'd like to encourage you to keep it easy for yourself. Okay, so make sure if you are looking at the lower years, go through and have a look. Go up to year 4 and have a look at the different year options available to you. So all the links are here. If I just click on one, just to show you, if you haven't already gone onto the curriculum website, you can see here you've got your codes here. So plan and manage projects that create and communicate ideas and information collaboratively online, taking safety and social context into account. So that's your curriculum description, and then you've got your elaboration. Right here, there's a little tab that says elaboration. And then we go. So it breaks it down for you. So you've got your acquired data. You don't have to do all of these. Choose one or two. Don't go overboard because otherwise you're going to get overwhelmed. So that's that. So I need you in here to highlight the area that you're going to do. So if it's going to be year 3 and 4, please go up here, highlight, bam. Elisa's decided we're doing year 3 and 4. I'm only saying that because I'm doing year 4 at the moment at school. So you've then got your overall project. Select an appropriate context and topics related to real-world concepts associated with the safe, responsible and ethical use of ICT on the internet for your selected year level. Examples of topics. So here again, I want you to highlight for me. So each of you might choose if you've got 4 people in your group, you might each choose one of these that work for you. You might have a different idea and you can write that in. That's completely fine. Some people in the past have chosen just to do a couple. So you might decide that online presence is quite a large one. So you would like 2 people to focus on online presence, but both of you are doing different things, if that makes sense. You might decide that plagiarism is a really important one for you, and that's going to be what your whole site's about. I think for the purpose of this and us being external, I'd probably suggest either doing one individual topic each that link together. But if you have a different way of doing it, I'm more than happy to watch. It sounds fabulous. I'm excited. So for me, all right, I might decide that grooming is something that is appropriate. And then I'm going to go back to my curriculum and decide. So I'll click back into there and have a bit of a look and think, is grooming something year 3 and 4s really need to know about just yet? Possibly. But for this one, I'm going to say maybe not. Let's have a look at privacy. That's probably a better one to start with. So try and make sure that you're actually linking it appropriately to your age group. So I wouldn't expect to see that a year 2 class be looking at fraud. Okay. Or even Creative Commons. That might be something difficult for them to get their little heads around. So please just take into consideration the age group and what's appropriate. So for me, I've chosen year 3 and 4. I'm going to say that copyright's important. I'll highlight copyright. I'm pink still, so I'll do that one. Maybe cyberbullying, because bullying is a big topic at the moment, and we've got Harmony Day coming up next week, so we might just have those. So if in my group of 2, if that's what I've decided to do, fantastic. I might choose that, or within my group, I might negotiate with my colleagues that I'm going to do copyright, and then the other person in my group, maybe it's Harry. Harry's going to do cyberbullying. Okay. So they're highlighted. Bam, another point right there. Number 3, decide which technology is most appropriate for students to use to create an end product for each topic. Note, each team member is required to use one type of technology to create an example end product on his or her individual page. Team members may choose to use different technologies, but the task description, process and evaluation rubrics must be sufficiently generic to encompass these different technologies to take into account how the characteristics of meaningful learning are incorporated. Whew, what a mouthful. What that is essentially asking you to do, it's asking you to write your name. My team member name is Elise, and oops, silly me, I forgot to change my writing to pink because I'm the pink person. So my end product or technology that I'm going to do, I've got storyboard that as something that is in my mind at the moment. So I'm going to do that as my my topic, or end product and technology, and the characteristics of meaningful learning that I'm going to focus on. Maybe I am encompassing collaboration, maybe collaboration, and there could actually be active learning involved in there as well. There's probably a whole active learning also, but you can include several. It doesn't really matter. I don't mind. So then my mate Harry, who is also in my group, Don't mind me, I'm just spurting off everyone's names as I remember them in our class. Harry's green. Harry's decided that he's going